Here's a problem you might see in your own swing. It's the loss of posture and impact. And here is the solution. Get these legs to be a little bit straighter and upper body a little bit more over so we can hang more naturally down. We have the spacing to get our stack and tilt that we want to try and do on the left side. And then we have to think about this ball position. If you want to keep this swing style, you've got to move that ball position up 1 or 2 golf balls over to the left side. This player actually hits the ball pretty well, but those compensations do come with a cost. He tends to top the ball or slice it as his common miss, and that combo, it is an open invitation to the double cross. So join me while I go over his cause and effect and show how solid contact can sometimes hide deeper instability underneath. And if you'd like to have the chance to have your swing featured in a future episode, use the link down below to submit your swing and a few notes. Welcome to the new series, Golf Swing Fixes. So for this series, I'm trying to step in the eyes of a student looking at the swing, and most of us will look at this and go, look at my spine angle. It goes from pretty decent there, and when I make the move down to transition, I start losing my spine angle. I'm coming on up in, my butt's getting close to the golf ball, and that's going to be some issues with rotation because this looks like it's fighting for a weight-centeredness issue. But if I take you back to the beginning of this swing, what you'll notice is he's actually returning back to his original spine angle. So we draw it from there's the setup, and we go straight down into his impact position. He actually gets back to where he started. Now, obviously, the momentum of his coming up, he will see he stands up a little bit more past impact, and we do see that there's little room for the hands and arms to move, but they are definitely path left. So path left will cause those slices, will cause the pulls. It can also cause blocks, double-sided misses. It's a double-double it in and out without the cheese. So the first thing I do is I just go straight down to impact, and I take a quick measurement of the tilting. Now, we take a look here. In Barney Purple, we can see that the tilting is roughly 55 degrees. Now, what I'll do is I go to the very top of the swing where we can last see his shoulders right about there. And we can see that the shoulders are moving about 20 to 25 degrees. So the shoulders are trying to do their job of keeping that club in the slot. And on the left side of the screen, let's take a look at this quick setup. We're going to draw that forward press line in Barney Purple, and the shoulder tilt line, we're going to do it in mellow yellow and take a look if we are truly connected or if we are trying to manufacture some forward press. So you can see there is the angle we're dealing with. Now remember, when you naturally sequence, these hips will go out with an iron, your shoulders, to make sure you control that center point. But if you have a strong grip like he does and a manufactured forward press, you're going to increase that. Now all of a sudden you're putting a lot of tension on your tilting and turning to compensate this, to hold off that release. Now we take a look at his turn and tilt numbers from the down the line on the right side of the screen. They were about normal. So for somebody with this setup with that forward press, we would actually expect those tilt numbers to increase a little bit more. So that sends off some alarm bells. And let's just take a look at the center point. We're going to draw a straight line from the golf ball up, and we can see it's pretty connected to that centerness. But when we take a look at this first move back, we see this is stack and tilt like, and it looks pretty decent until there. But from here, we can see that extra arm motion is going to pull the tilting a little bit different. So now we're going to have a new tilt from this face on. We can see it's leaning this way. So now our body center, we're going to do this in Ivan Red, is leaning ahead of the golf ball, and his spine is behind the golf ball. So now that's an invitation for compensations. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we all compensate. To help get the spine moving this way, we are going to see those hips activate earlier, and there they go. So the hips have activated, upper body stays back to help realign his spine to point ahead of the golf ball. But the problem is with that strong grip, and he's moved that center point ahead, that ball position is even further back when it started. So his hands have to go earlier, and we see those early hand releases. Now, when you don't have a lot of room, like you can see he does on the right side of the screen, guess what he has to do? He has to start to stand up to make room for those arms to throw, because if they throw early, like he is doing now, and he stays down in his modified posture from the top of his swing, he's going to hit earth about 9 inches behind the golf ball and break something. So his body has learned to go up and down based on the setup. Now the right side of the screen, we're going to look at one more thing here just to make sure you understand as well. Arches of the heel straight to the sky, they are connected to that button, which is looking pretty good. However, We might be standing a little too close to the golf ball, but we can see the shape of his knees are kicking out in front. Now this might create some stability issues. Now remember, with his setup, stack and tilt, like that left knee is going to break in pretty soon, and there's that left knee breaking in, which will pull that right knee back. But the problem with the left knee breaking in, right knee back, is the upper body will fall down towards the target, which we see happening here. Now compensations do occur. I've seen compensations when the shoulders go down, the hands go higher as they are doing, and when they go higher, that club is going to be trying to lay off to find that top plane line. So now we've got a little up and down motion that does require some extra timing on impact. So we're making up compensations from this side of the screen, plus we're making up compensation from this side of the screen. We can see we stand up to create room to flip. We do flip, and we see our path is much lower as we escape, which will give you that right path. Simple fix for this is go ahead and pull those feet back, get these legs to be a little bit straighter and upper body a little bit more over, so we can hang more naturally down. We have the spacing to get our stack and tilt that we want to try and do on the left side. And then we have to think about this ball position. If you want to keep this swing style, you've got to move that ball position up 1 or 2 golf balls over to the left side. Just remember, your swing is not like this gentleman's swing. You all have your own individual cause and effect. The purpose of this series and channel is to help educate you on how to diagnose your own swing so you can learn your own moves. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Favors and greetings.